Okay, so tell me, Rama, why did you decide to start learning Korean?
네. 처음에는 방탄소년단 때문에 한국어를 배우고 싶어요. 나는 작년에 방탄소년단 콘서트에 갔어서 나도 내 가장 친한 친구와 한국어로 이야기하고 싶어.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That sounded really cool.
Dumplings.
I
I
don't
like
know how to do
dumplings too.
subtitles, so you're gonna be editing this episode for us. Or at least this part of it.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another podcast. Fun fact, my energy levels were extremely low today. Had a Red Bull, not sponsored by Red Bull, but Red Bull hit us up. The two times don't need some sponsors. But yes, my energy level was extremely low today. So I had a Red Bull, now I'm good. So wait, apart from that, we have a really cool guest, our childhood friend Rama. She's a film student at KU. She is absolutely killing it. She knows Korean, guys, and that's a massive fucking flex. In my opinion, like if you know like a fourth or a third language, that's levels right there. So guys, welcome Rama. She will teach me, teach you, hopefully you guys. I don't know shit about film and the world of film and the challenges that go into it. So yeah, Rama, take it away. What's up?
And also psychology. Hey.
Yeah, she's a double major, which is like
Yeah.
insane. That's a lot of
Yeah.
work. I barely finished one major,
You're a double
and
major?
here you are doing two. I don't know
know
why
you
you
were
put
double
yourself
major.
through that. Terrible life
Honestly,
decisions, if you ask me.
it was a terrible life decision. I don't know why I did it either, but I did it, and I'm still doing it, and it hurts physically. What?
Yeah.
So,
Nothing. I'm just saying. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's crazy. That's film, Korean, and psychology. Those are like your three academic focuses. How do you plan on tying those together, or do you plan on tying those together?
So I plan on one day moving to Korea, finding Bong Joon-ho in a restaurant, going up to him, speaking to him in Korean, having him hire me for his next movie, directing his next movie, and then getting an Oscar. There you go.
Who is that guy? Who is the guy that you?
He's the
Is this
guy.
the director
he's
of
the-
Parasite?
He's the director of Parasite. Yes.
All right, that was a really
that
lucky
guy,
guess.
That guy. Parasite's a Korean movie. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you
Parasite
haven't
Korean?
seen the movie because it is in Korean.
It
All
is
right,
in Korean.
The entire movie's in
Nah,
Korean.
I haven't seen Parasite.
I would highly
Um,
recommend that movie. Is honestly a
Yeah.
work of art, and if a movie could be perfect, I would say virtually that is the most perfect film I've seen.
Here's the thing. There's a reason. There's a reason that movie won an Oscar, Rama.
Okay.
There's a reason.
Okay, fun fact.
Yeah.
When Rama watched Parasite, she told me, I just saw this Korean movie, Parasite, and it was amazing. It's like a crazy good movie. She was like, it's the best movie I've ever seen. I was like, that sounds like a really good movie, but also, it's in Korean, so there's no way it's gonna win an Oscar. And then, like,
It won 4.
Yeah.
it won the Oscar. It basically won the
Wow.
Oscars.
No, but that was a really
Wow.
big deal because I remember all of us in the film department were having a Oscar, what is it called, like the ballot, or when you predict the Oscar prediction party, and so we all got together on the
Yeah.
Oscars, and nobody had put down Parasite for winning Best Picture, even though we said it deserved it. We didn't think it would because given the history of Hollywood, we honestly thought that 1917 was gonna get it, and then it won, and everyone's minds blew up. It was the most amazing day of my life. Never expected an Asian movie out of all movies to win Best Picture and Best Screenplay and so many others.
Yeah, no, it was
Mm.
crazy.
Yeah. And so one of our talking points is that COVID is a big thing. COVID has really started being being like the reason that we started this podcast and all that. But it's also been a reason for a lot of destruction, a lot of despair and all that. So how has COVID affected the film industry in general, and and what are film students doing to cope with that, and how is the industry generally pivoting?
Okay,
When you watch
so
COVID, because it's here to stay.
it's actually really changed the industry. We just I got a packet from one of my professors who was like, this is an article that we get as filmmakers, and I want you guys to read it because this is the industry you will now be going into. And so one of the major things that I remember from that article was that now you can't have as many people in the same space together. Things like food breaks, those are going to get either completely cut out or very, very short breaks, just like 10, 15 minutes. And you have to have like medical professionals on site. You have to have fevers checked every single day. It's basically like become a lot more medicalized than it was before, and I don't exactly know how people are going to make huge blockbuster films anymore, because that's like on a good day it's a minimum 100 people on set.
Do you think it's gonna be like a bunch of CGI?
I don't think it's going to be a bunch of CGI. It might take a lot longer to make a film, and I think it might be
Mm,
negative.
might take a
I
lot
think
longer.
it's going to be negatively affecting people like me, because before COVID, you could go up to a person and be like, "Hi, I want to shadow you in set," and like if you can get through to them, they'd be like, "Yeah, come on over, just don't mess with anything." But now it's like you probably can't do that. You probably can't ask someone, "Hey, I want to shadow you, or I want an internship." They're going to be like, "Well, unless you're really good, we don't want you on set because we have a limited number of people that we can have." So that is also a
A
possibility.
limit of people, a limited number of people you can have. Yeah,
That's
that is
crazy.
that is a massive that is a massive issue. However, in my opinion, you can think it's not generally my opinion, but it's related to something I was reading. So what I feel is that the commercial real estate market is going to boom in the next couple of years, because I feel like there are going to be restrictions and laws with how many people you can have per square foot, which means higher budgeted movies are gonna have to rent out larger spaces so that they can accommodate more people onto their sets and everything. Therefore, the more space you rent out, the more money commercial real estate sector generates. So I feel like for anybody who's into commercial real estate and all that, this is a completely different tangent, but like for anybody who's into commercial real estate should actually look into it. Should actually look into investing into it, considering this is a dip, it is going to come back up. And I feel like that is an opportunity for commercial real estate, and those same principles can be applied for the film industry. I feel like there's going to be a lot of innovation, a lot of different ways that people are going to come up with, on how they're going to shoot a movie and how they're going to film a movie. I think a lot of the processes are going to be automated, and yeah, that's it.
On like a slightly
Sorry,
unrelated note,
I'm using it.
it's like I feel like
I'm
restaurants
using
are
it.
gonna have to get like bigger spaces and all. Like everyone's gonna need a bigger store now
They
because
Oh
will.
you
yeah.
They
still want to
will.
fit in lots of people, but you can't pack them
You,
together as
you
tightly
need
as you did
more. You need
before.
more. Exactly. You need more. You need more square footage now. But that's for countries like America. However, Pakistan doesn't really have to comply with that because we already have laws which people don't follow. So how is Pakistan going to pivot? What do you think of that? What do you think? What do both of you think? How
I
is
feel
Pakistan
like
going to
a certain
go ahead?
someone is gonna stand up on stage and say "tabdili aa rahi hai," and then it's not gonna change. But I don't really
I love our
know
country.
what's gonna
I don't
happen to
see our
Pakistan.
people changing. You
I
know,
feel like I feel
Nah,
like
that'd
we
be
said.
like a
I think
Korean movie winning the Oscars, dude. Like that's just not gonna happen.
I feel like for
yeah.
us as a nation to
So,
change, we need a lot more people to be educated, and
mm,
even then, I mean, considering the strikes that are happening in the US for because people want haircuts, even education doesn't mean that they'll understand. So,
exactly, exactly. And so Rama, are there any like innovative techniques that come to your mind when it comes to filming? Because you're a film student, right? You're learning the freshest stuff. I hope you're learning the freshest stuff in the game and everything. So like, what innovative techniques do you think they're going to implement in the film industry, like with large scale budgeted movies and all
so I think with large scale budget movies, so let's
that?
take it back a notch. Let's take it to student films. So I was supposed to be directing a film this semester, and it was going to be
Yeah.
like a really well made film. We all of us had everything set up. The pre-production was done. We were just about to cast our actors, but then COVID happened. So we literally had to take that film, put a pin in it, and then what we did as a class was that all of us individually recorded our own like mini films, and then we compiled it into one bigger film with one theme. It wasn't the
Mm,
prettiest film, it wasn't the most
mm,
amazing film, it was still something.
mm,
But I think it's
mm,
possible that just like in the sort of early 2000s, when the movies like the Blair Witch Project, where it was like a fake documentary but you thought it was a real documentary, I think that might research back, where people are making like lower budget but more like
mm,
higher quality films, if that makes any sense. um
Hmm.
Okay.
So the writing might be higher quality, but then they'll have to figure out what can we do that will have the least amount of people on set. And if it's like the Blair Witch Project, then you're just gonna hand your actors a camera and be like, go film, you know?
You know what I'm picturing? I'm
Mm.
picturing like Avengers, but it's only one person on screen at a time. So you see like Tony Stark throwing a punch, and then it suddenly cuts to like the aftermath of like Spider-Man getting punched in the face. I don't know why they'd fight each other, but I mean, I'm sure they can figure that out in
Yeah.
post.
I mean, I don't understand why
Dude,
Tony would
honestly,
fight
do
his
you want
dead
personal
friend.
They'll,
but
opinion?
they'll figure
okay.
that out later. Also, he comes
Do you
back
want
to
personal
life.
opinion? I'm
Not to
so
like spoil
excited.
the last Avengers movie, but Peter Parker comes back to life. Just saying.
No,
But the other guy dies.
I do. Yeah, Tony does.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I
You
forgot about
that,
that one.
didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those of you who've been watching,
No,
these
dude,
were Avengers
dude.
spoilers.
Spoilers.
You were not warned.
No, dude. Even the Rooster Brothers says 6 months after the movie comes out, they don't really give a shit about spoilers anymore. They're like, "Carlo spoiled." Chill, man. It's been like a year and a half now.
Oh, that's fair.
So calm down.
It's better than that one time I
Alright.
spoiled The Dark Knight. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I don't.
I
Oh,
don't
Okay,
but
that,
it's really
no,
good. You
bring
guys
it up
don't
right
remember
now.
that. I was young and stupid. I posted a Facebook status saying Batman dies like the moment the movie ended,
Oh, I heard
and
about
everyone
that.
hated me.
I heard about that.
It was
I heard
a
about
really
that.
bad decision. I'm
Well,
sorry
about that.
to all my friends.
I heard
when
about
when we were last
I
when
heard
it
about
came
that.
out, the movie, I don't exactly remember when that hit, like last year, right? We were having a film award ceremony, and one of the guys who won an award in the last few seconds of his speech spoiled Avengers Endgame for the
Oh my
entire
God.
ceremony.
Mm.
It was, yeah.
That sounds
he-
like what I do.
It was like his third award,
didn't know
and
that.
he was running out of things to say, so he just spoiled the film. And there was just two reactions. There was one side of the people who had seen it were just in shock, and the people who hadn't seen it were just like seething with anger.
No. I'd be third guy. I'd be laughing my ass off regardless of what I it or not. I'd be like, holy shit, this guy really did.
I'd be there too. I'd be laughing.
This guy really spoiled Avengers. I'd be there laughing so hard. But honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm so excited for the movies that are going to be coming out in the next 2 or 3 years. I'm so excited because we're going to be seeing film techniques that have not been implemented ever or in a long time. It's going to be a completely different landscape. It's a chance for a chance for big direction companies, big media companies to pivot and adapt. It's an opportunity to come up with something.
I think
new.
there's a potential for people to start using drone footage a lot more.
Have you guys seen? There's a new streaming service called QB, and basically it's all stuff filmed to watch on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I watched a couple episodes, and the crazy thing is, every episode, every show, all the footage, you can watch it like horizontally, like you would a normal movie or a TV show, but you can turn your screen so it's vertical, and they just change like the entire scenes that it fits on your phone screen.
Wow.
Like everything is filmed in a way that it can be watched either way. And it's actually really cool. And like everyone I've told this to has been like, why would you watch something vertically? Just turn your phone, you fool. But like, it works. It's just nicer.
It's an interesting concept. I like that.
Yeah.
I really vibe with that.
What do you learn in college? And like, you get to like actually make movies? How does that work?
Oh boy, that is a big question. Okay.
Just like an overview. Don't get too technical because like, I don't know movies that well. Neither does
So, are you asking specifically for my film department? Like,
yeah, for like film.
Yeah.
What's a film student up to?
Your experience. We're asking about we're asking your experience. Like, what have you gone through? What's the scene?
so when I first came to KU, I went through international orientation, but apparently I didn't know that the film department has its own orientation for the film students. Never had any of that.
Yeah.
So when I went into the department for the first time, I didn't know my teachers, I didn't know any other students. I was just like a person who had just been thrust into this place, and that's it. So it starts off with you getting these really basic theory classes. So my first ever class was just Film 101, where we just discussed basic history of film, and then every Tuesday, I remember we used to have a 3-hour session of watching a film and then analyzing the film. So that's where you start off with at KU, and then you progress further. So depending on what you're focusing on. So my focus is mostly production based. You then choose classes which then help you go further in that. So I chose like basic video production. I chose the aesthetics of film and all these different things. So there was a good mix of theory and practical classes. And for the most part, the professors there they want you to succeed. I think that's the biggest difference between a film school in the Midwest and a film school in like LA or New York. I mean, I haven't been to a film school in LA or New York, so I can't personally say what would happen there, but I think that in those places, it would be so much, like, it would be so heavily focused on the competition between each student that it'd be like a race. Meanwhile, in the Midwest, there's very few film students to begin with. So when you find a film student and you know that they're good, you want to work with them. You want them to work with you. And so a lot of times what happens is that I'll like ask one of my film friends, I was like, hey, do you know anyone who's a good cinematographer? I want this specific look in my film. And they're like, yeah, we know this guy. He's in this class. Go talk to him. So
Oh, that's really cool.
it's a very, very helpful community of people. Obviously, you have like the outliers, but overall, I would say that the film students in the Midwest want to help each other as much as you want their help, because in the end, it's experience for everyone. It's something to put on your resume. It's something to learn. But in the classes themselves, I've had some classes that were just okay, and I've had some classes that was just phenomenal. Like one of my classes I still remember to this day. It was called Directing and Acting for Camera or something of that sort. It was a elective, but basically directors learned how to act and actors learned how to direct, because that bridged the gap between the two. Because most of the time our actors come from the theater department, and a lot of times they don't understand what we're asking them to do, and we don't know how to tell them what we want. So it was a really, really cool experience where we were put into each other's shoes so that we could learn how to communicate better with each other.
Oh shit, that's really cool.
That
So are you gonna be like are you gonna be like a producer, a director? What's the goal there?
So this is actually something
Or
that
does it not matter to you? Is it just like, oh, I'll take either job, whoever's paying more?
So directing and producing are is like being the CEO. You have to climb the ladder up to be that CEO. So that's the
That
dream.
makes sense.
That is the dream. But will I end up there? Not sure. As of now, actually, I've been discussing with my professors the potential to go into becoming a motion capture cinematographer for video game companies.
Oh, that's really cool. I know they've done that for stuff like... games like The Last of Us and all? The animated characters walking, they're not just animated people walking. You have actual human beings wearing like suits with little balls on them. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you're
right.
recording that, and then you're you're capturing how each segment of their body moves, and then turning that into an animated character. So that's why all their motions are so realistic.
Now it makes sense.
So, for example, Red Dead Redemption has. Why do you think the horses look so good? Because they took a real horse. Put a suit. Yeah, they put a motion capture suit on the horse. They physically, using those movements, they built a 3D model with like all the muscles and the skeletal system of a horse on their computer, and then use that for their reference for how the horses move. That's why they look so realistic.
Yeah, I feel like this is what they do. They model a horse, okay? Then they have a motion capture, and then they rig the movements of the motion captured horse onto the model, which is why it looks so realistic. That's my mind going off on how they actually do it.
That sounds reasonable.
Completely wrong.
From what I remember, it's that they take because you have, so basically if it's my arm, right, you'd have those motion capture dots all over the arm. So it would make a 3D model for you. It'll be like a skeleton in your system. So all you have to do is like then put the muscles over it, however you want to. But the movement comes out so hyper realistic, and it's just so fun to do. And I really want to go in there someday.
Exactly. Dude, go, dude, just believe it. Just map your actions according
Just
to that.
make it
and
happen.
You will make it there. We
Just
don't
like
know
snap it into
when. We don't know
reality.
when. Snap. Dude, speaking of things, Salman and I were discussing our future vision on where we want to take this podcast and everything. We were hoping that one day, when we have when we grow this thing into like a massive venture, we're talking like a 10, 20-year venture, right? The 10, 20-year long vision. We want this platform to be an entire media company where we make movies, we direct, we fund other projects.
We don't
fund other
direct
YouTube
ourselves,
channels,
but we let other people make
we
their
fund
dreams.
direct.
Nice.
Yeah, we become angel investors in a way for other people's projects and visions and all that, and that's just through this platform alone, and that's just like a tiny part of the vision. We don't want to discuss like the complete.
Yeah, I didn't know we were gonna talk about
It's
this.
under wraps and everything. It's 10-20.
Well, it's not under wraps
10-20
anymore,
year
so
long vision.
it's not under wraps anymore. So good job there.
We didn't talk about the massive. We didn't talk about the massive things.
That's fair.
though.
We got
Also,
big dreams,
it's
people.
Eid
Big
Mubarak,
dreams.
guys. What's up? I fucking forgot. Eid Mubarak.
Oh, yeah,
all of
Eid
you.
Mubarak,
Every
everyone.
single one of you guys. Every single one of you. Eid Mubarak. We hope you have a great year ahead. TK, I completely forgot about this. Should have been at the start. Yeah, have a great Eid. Wish your loved ones Eid Mubarak. Because I don't know how the fuck this goes. Just don't meet them. Please don't meet them. COVID is out there.
Unless
It's
you're
real.
already
We have
living in the
45,000
same house.
Yeah,
plus
let's
right now
no.
in
If you're
Pakistan.
living in the same house, just don't do it. You know.
Don't even look them in the eye.
Just don't do it. Just don't, man. Just don't. Anyways, Eid Mubarak to you guys. I hope you have a happy and great year ahead.
But
What
hey,
else are we going? I
before
think
we
have
head out,
time
I
for
had
more
one last
We have
question.
One more question.
Let me
One
take
last
it away.
question. Yeah. let's
So,
go.
okay, I want to know how expensive is the equipment you use, and like, what happens if someone like damages it? Have you ever has anyone ever broken like, I don't know, a $10,000-$20,000 camera?
No,
Are those a
because
thing?
we fear for we have the fear of God in our eyes whenever we handle equipment, because that ish is not insured. But I think the most
It's not.
well, not for us students, we have to pay full price.
Oh, really?
wow.
If you break it, you pay for it?
Yep, that's why we handle it like it's our literal child. But we actually, I think, so we have like red cameras, we have black magic cameras, but I think the
Red.
most.
You have red. You
Yep.
have red. You have whoa.
But
dude, that is expensive.
I think the most expensive piece of equipment that we have at KU is our soundboard, which is more
What is
it's
that?
so it's for sound design. So it's like those boards with the
Ooh,
it's
I know what
it's
sound
more
design is.
expensive than the
Ooh, I love
most
sound
recent
design.
model of a Maserati.
Holy shit! How much? How much
I-
does a Maserati cost? How
I-
much does
I-
a soundboard cost?
Maseratis don't cost that much anymore. 100k? I'm thinking 100k, 150k.
But it's more expensive than that. And basically, from what I was told, we were supposed to get that soundboard much earlier than we did. But the person who took the original one that was being made for KU was like this really famous rapper. I don't exactly Lil Wayne, some little person.
Some small guy with big
Some-
dreams.
Yes, basically. Also, I mean, Saad, you were saying that you wanted to
Careful
learn.
who you call small man.
Saad, you were saying you wanted to learn Korean
No.
at the
When
beginning.
did I say that?
I think you said that.
I never. I did? Okay, fine. Might have said
Well,
that.
either way, now you just have to learn Korean. You don't have to.
Now you have to. You have to learn it and you have to speak it with me.
Yeah. Sure, we'll do it in the future episode.
Y'all
Alright,
learn
guys.
Korean,
One
I'll
second,
learn
we have to go to
Urdu.
the
But
intro.
in the meanwhile, have a good day. Eat Mubarak, everyone. Enjoy your weeks. Enjoy your lives.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, that's what I was supposed to
Like
say.
and subscribe.
Obliterate the like button, guys. I do not say this often.
Punch
Fucking
that like
obliterate it.
button.
Obliterate.
Please subscribe,
Yeah.
or all our future
Punch
guests
that-
will be very
follow
sad.
Us, follow us on Instagram at the 2 time zones, or is it 2
Time Zones Podcast.
Whichever one it is. Yeah, the link is our 2 time zones podcast. Links in the description down below, guys. So, anything else, Salman?
No, I think that's all. So on that note, goodbye,
Yeah, I don't
everyone.
know.